My name is Sarah. I work in the office at Resurrection, and we've been studying Fratelli Tutti for the last couple weeks. We're also a couple weeks out from Easter, and this week we are reflecting on chapter 3. I am just so struck by the way that Pope Francis talks about love. It's what we're all about, right? And I'm struck by God's love for us, God's love for you and for me. As we approach Easter, I can't help but think that God didn't have to go through all of that, right? Jesus could have struck down those Roman soldiers. He could have come down from the cross. He didn't have to undergo all of the suffering, the torture, the humiliation, but he did that willingly, and he went through all of that to save you, to save us. And I always go back to something I heard somebody say once, that if I was the only person in the whole world, God still would have done that to save me. And if you were the only person in the whole world, Jesus still would have undergone every single moment of that to save you. That's how much he loves you. He gave his life for you. And he did it for the whole world. But he knew that you would be born. He knew how much he loved you, and he did it to save you. That's kind of overwhelming to think about, for me, to be honest. It's a lot of pressure to live up to, but I know that our God is gentle, he is compassionate, he's merciful, and he doesn't ask anything of us that we can't do. And he also doesn't put us through anything that we're not ready for. And that can be a really hard pill to swallow, especially when you're going through suffering. Right? That's kind of like the big question of our faith, is how can a loving God allow suffering and allow evil and sin in the world? And I don't have the answer to that. I don't have a perfect answer. There's lots of theories. But what I know from my own personal experience is that when our hearts are open during suffering, God can really work amazing things through that and through us. We are made in God's image, and part of that includes this amazing capacity to love others and to lay down our lives for others. And that might not mean laying down your actual life. We're all called to different vocations, to different paths, but when our heart is soft, when we are open to what God's asking of us, or what he's working through us, it's just such an opportunity for his grace to flow out to others, and for us to reach people that maybe we wouldn't have been able to reach before. If our lives are perfect, that really closes us off to the rest of the world, to be honest, because everybody undergoes suffering at some point. And one of the things that I love about Jesus is that he was a man of his world. God is so, so faithful to us. And I remember in John chapter 15, Jesus told his disciples, there's no greater love than to lay down your life for your friend. And he did exactly that for us. And so as we approach Holy Week, as we continue reading through the encyclical, I would just invite you to participate in the liturgies that we have. Participate in Palm Sunday, in Holy Thursday, Good Friday, in the Easter celebration, whether that's on our live stream, whether that's coming in person, whether that is reading the gospel accounts in your own home. And think about how much God loves us. And I invite you to pray with me to open up your heart, no matter what you're going through, no matter what is going on around you. Ask God how you can show a little bit of His love to those around you. And I would bet that as you do, you're going to feel some more peace. You're going to feel a greater sense of fulfillment, because remember, we are made in God's image. And when we love others, we are living up to who we are called to be. As Father Bill always says, we're people who are going to heaven, so let's act like it. Thanks for listening.